Well, hello everyone. Welcome. My name is Shanita and welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, I really appreciate you stopping by. And if this is not your first time here, thank you so much for coming back and joining me on this beautiful broadcast. Now, today I would love for us to talk about something really wonderful, near and dear to my heart, no pun intended, because it is Valentine's Day week. Valentine's Day week. I think it's Friday's actual Valentine's Day. And so, if you're a part of the collective that loves to really go all out on Valentine's Day, I know that this episode is going to be wonderful for you. But if you're someone like me who's fortunate to have Valentine's Day every day, then I know you're going to enjoy this as well. So today we are going to be talking about what a heart-centered relationship really is. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever tried to question that, but as empaths and highly sensitive people, one of the things that we really cherish is deep connections. We're not very good at surface level talk, but what we want to do is go deeper to really extract the essence of who we are as individuals or who we are as a couple or just who we are, at work, wherever we are showing up. We not only want to see the best in people and to really get a beautiful understanding of others, but we deeply want people to see us, to see our light, and to be appreciated. So I have four unique ways that I want to break this down. So I'm going to give it to you straight, and then I'm just going to explain everything on the front end, on the back end. So first, let me slow down and say, how are you connecting with everyone these days? How are your connections? Are they feeling solid and strong, or are they kind of wavering a little bit? We are all going through some really, really crazy, bizarre times here, and that can really begin to eat away at our foundation of safety and stability. So put it in the chat below. How are you doing? How are those connections? Are you connected to yourself? Are you grounded in who you are? And so I want to hear about that, and I want to help you along in any way that I can. So I want to tell you four easy ways to remember what is a heart-centered relationship and how can I have one of those in my life. Now, when I'm talking about heart-centered relationships, I'm really talking about a relationship that has four components. And the first one is to be emotionally safe with the people that you're around. The second one is to be genuinely seen. Third is to be respected. And the fourth and final one is to be supported. Now, when we are talking about emotional safety in heart centered relationships, we're really talking about being able to fully express who we are, what we're thinking and feeling, and what we need, empaths and highly sensitive people, what we need from the person that we're talking to. Being free to express our needs is really critical, and it's very, very important because otherwise we get stuck into those old patterns of people pleasing or masking or hiding our feelings, our needs, and our desires. And we all know that ultimately that just puts us in a state of resentment, and it really isolates us from the people um, we say we love and whom we believe love us. So you want to make sure that you feel emotionally safe in these heart-centered relationships. Now, the second point is to be genuinely seen. You want to make sure that when you are in your significant, important relationships, that they really see you for who you are, beyond that big, beautiful heart of yours. Now, as empaths and highly sensitive people, we have amazing hearts. We are there for other people. But sometimes, I remember back when I was just in I call it dysfunction. I was an amazing empath that was always there for other people, quick to be there, no problem. But I masked a lot of what I needed. I was the one in my group of friends that everybody came to. And for a long period of time, that was a source of pride for me. I enjoyed that until life started lifing. And then I realized I didn't have a supportive network around me. And more importantly, people didn't know me. And I thought, but I'm spending all this time with you. What do you mean you don't know me? And I had to slowly realize that I was very calculated in how I presented myself to the world, what I allowed you to see about me or to know about me. So being genuinely seen, having that feeling that it is okay to be seen for who you are, whether you are in your empowered state or you're in my I need some help or I don't quite have it all together state. Now, the next thing is respect it. You want to make sure that as empaths and highly sensitive people, when we are entering into these relationships, that we are upfront and honest about the boundaries that make our lives individually very healthy and very happy. You don't want to go into this relationship unaware of what your needs are, unaware of what your boundaries are, and where your imaginary lines for things are. Because other people, they don't know. What works for you may not work for them, and vice versa. So it's always a wonderful idea to be aware of what your boundaries are. What's the best way to communicate those boundaries? And what tips and tools do I need to be able to not only enforce those boundaries, but to reinforce the boundaries if those boundaries get broken by the other people? So that's important. We want to make sure that we command respect within ourselves because it's our own job to make sure that we are honoring the boundaries that we've set and that we're just being very committed to taking good care of ourselves because we're the first people to show others how we best want to be taken care of. And it really lies within our own power to make sure we say, hey, guess what? I really appreciated that, but this one didn't work so well. Let's find a new way to engage so that I don't feel like I can't trust you or I don't feel safe around you. And that way you know what to expect from me and I know what to expect from you. Those types of conversations can go a long way and can really save us so much trouble and heartache on the back end. Now, the fourth and final component to having a very beautiful heart-centered relationship is being supported. Supported in your growth as a person, supported in your growth as a couple, and the evolution of yourself. Because I just want to tell you, as someone that's been in a relationship for close to 20 years, the person that entered into that relationship, I don't even know where she is right now. She's off having fun somewhere because I've been fortunate enough to grow and evolve as a person. Not only do I want to grow and evolve and be better for myself, but I also want to grow and evolve and be better as a partner and to have the relationship that I desire to grow and evolve. To really sit down and connect with my partner and to say, hey, these are the hopes and dreams that I have for myself, but here are also the hopes and dreams that I have for our relationship because it really means the world to me. So making sure that you are in a situation or relationship where your growth is very valued and that you are being proactive and taking steps to meet that growth and not shy away. Because some growth, sometimes it can be really difficult. It can be hard because it challenges us, right? And then there's other spurts of growth that are just fun and it's like, it's like for example, I want to play pickleball, you know, just as I want to try something new, something different. And when you do that, you see how it really benefited your life. So if you have the emotional safety, feeling like you're genuinely seen, you're respected, and you're supported in a relationship, you are now beginning to function in what I have called a heart-centered relationship. A relationship that is really helping you to just be the highest and best version of yourself that you can be. Now, even though this relationship sounds wonderful and we all want relationships like this, I want to temper that just a little to make sure you guys know that it's not about perfection. This is not a relationship style that commands or demands the perfection of you or your spouse. No, it's not that. It's asking all of us involved in a heart centered relationship to show up with authenticity and to allow our presence to be just as loving and to be just as safe and fruitful. So even if I don't say anything, I want my spouse to know that our presence is here for you. That you know that I'm a safe space to talk through things or to work through things or to just be, not even have to say anything, right? Our presence alone means the world and it shows strength and emotional safety. So make sure you're not falling into the category of wanting to be perfectionistic about things. When you are grounded into yourself, when you are stable in who you are and you are aware and moving in that beautiful space, your presence alone will command a lot of grace. And it just is very beneficial to not only you, but to everyone around you, whether you're in a romantic relationship with this person or not. Your presence will speak volumes before you say anything. Now, here's a fun fact, and this is a note that I wrote down. Now, there are studies that show that deep emotional connection actually activates the vagus nerve. Now, the vagus nerve is that nerve that wanders all over the body and can really put us in a parasympathetic state. So, having said that, it really reduces stress and it increases feelings of trust and security. So, that's why having deep emotional connections are really beneficial for us. Now, one of the ways to really strengthen a heart centered connection is what we just talked about, lead with presence, not just words, just be. Allow the moment um, to really allow yourself to really get in the moment and to be present with someone. So, no devices, nothing, anything else that will distract your attention from the person you're trying to be present with. Now, the second thing is to create an energetic safe space. Now, that energetic safe space could be, again, you're just sitting there doing nothing, or you're just honoring each other's emotional needs. And here's the critical part about that: no judgment. Don't put any judgments or limitations on anything that your partner or the person you're with is trying to express. Allow them to sort that out. But you being there, your presence, and then allowing the safe communication, the safe flow of emotional feelings and thoughts goes a very long way. Now, the third thing is to communicate with love and clarity. So you don't want to give reactionary responses. You want to do intentional responses. So something like, if you feel like you're in a relationship and your partner doesn't listen to you, so instead of saying, you never listen to me, you can say something as simple as, I feel unheard and I really want us to connect. Now, of those two examples, which one did you feel like you connected with the most? You never listened to me, or I feel unheard and I really want us to connect. I know if you're like me, the second response is going to get way more of my understanding, my empathy, and my love. Now, even though the first response feels very real, and that's the essence of what's going on, you want to make sure that you don't um, isolate the other person from really trying to hear what you're trying to say. Sometimes, as human creatures, we can be defensive, even when we don't need to be. But just in case, when you start your sentences off with "I," It helps the other person to receive what you're saying a lot better. Now, the next thing is the growth and support for transformation. These things are really going to help to increase your chances for heart centered communication because as you're growing, as you're evolving, you are exchanging feelings and ideas and you're feeling supported and you're bouncing off ideas for each other. I have blind spots that I can't see, but my partner does, and vice versa. But here's the best thing, you're creating a very sacred space for this person to rest in the relationship, for this person to heal in the relationship, for this person to um, celebrate their wins. Like if I have a good day, and I just said I had a great day at work today and it made me feel wonderful, I want my partner to say, that's amazing. Not that we have to go celebrate and break out the trumpets, but that they know me well enough to know that me saying that I had this amazing day and it made a profound difference in my day, I want that to be celebrated. It doesn't have to be anything big, but you're so connected to your partner that these small things really make a big impact. And again, it goes back to when you feel seen, which is one of the components to a heart-centered relationship. When you feel truly seen and that person sees those little itty bitty difference makers in your being or in your life, that just further crystallizes how important this person is to you. Now, you want to make sure that if you ever get in a space and there's some apologies that need to be stated, you want to make sure that you have the grace built up in your relationship where these apologies do not have to be as difficult and they're not creating this big chasm between the two of you. Because disagreements happen, whether it's considered a healthy relationship or an unhealthy relationship. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're dealing with sensitive, beautiful beings, okay? So I'm going to just be honest. The many times when I have to ask for forgiveness, I want to make sure that I am aware just exactly how I have grieved my partner. And I want to say those words to them so that they know I hear them, I understand, and here is my game plan for trying not to step back into that, right? I don't want to repeat things because I do want my action to speak louder than the words of my apologies. Please forgive me. I want my actions toward that to speak way louder and also as a visual demonstration of why I feel like they are important to me. So, how can we move forward from this? And this is my personal plan to move forward. And I will try my best not to, upset you again. So, again, we said earlier, perfection is not the goal in these types of relationships. And if that's something that you struggle with, please let yourself off the hook with that right now. It's your presence. You don't have to spend a lot of money, but your time. Here's a revolutionary idea. You are the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And there is somebody out there in your life currently or coming to you soon that your presence is more than enough. Actually, your presence is like the best gift that keeps giving and giving and giving. So making sure that when you are fortunate enough to have these types of relationships, and it goes beyond romantic, this can work in career, professional, friendship, romantic, it doesn't matter. As empaths and highly sensitive people, we want to make sure that we are emotionally safe, genuinely seen, respected in our boundaries, and that feel supported in our relationships. It's a beautiful thing and it can go a long, long way. Now I want to close my sharing with you guys today with a really nice, beautiful story. So last year during the Christmas season, I was just really wanting some Christmas cheer, right? And I even made a post about it because it was the sweetest thing. So I went out shopping and I thought that would help, and it did not. So after a couple hours of just coming back, and I was like, "Bleh," there was nothing out there. I opened the door and my phone rang, and it was the sweetest call from our granddaughter. And she called and she said, I can't wait to come see you. I miss you guys so much and I love you. And she said, we have 23 days left until we come visit. And so I'm going to tell you that phone call just sent me to heaven, right? Because here's this beautiful little 7-year-old being, and that was on her mind to do, was to call and say that. Now, fast forward to we're actually together. It's Christmas and everything is wonderful. So she comes up to me and she gives me my Christmas present, and she stands there and she waits until I opens the Christmas present. So I open it up, and next thing I know, it's a cute little Hello Kitty guitar. I don't know if you can see it in the background, but it's the cutest little light blue guitar. And I just smiled from ear to ear because I thought, what a, just what an incredible gift, right? And then I was just so happy to get something from them, especially when their mom said they saved up their allowance and this, that, and the other to help. And I just thought, oh my God, that is so amazing. And then when I was going to sleep that same night, it hit me. That 7-year-old, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful baby girl saw all of my instruments here, knows just a tiny fraction of what I do with the instruments and what I do. And she is so connected to me that she said she would love another instrument for Christmas. Oh, and here's the beauty of it all. We don't live in the same city. We don't even live in the same state. So we don't get a chance to see each other very often. But when we do spend time together, it is very intentional, and the quality of time there is priceless. And even just the few moments we get to spend with each other every year, it's made an impression. Her beautiful 7-year-old mind has looked around, and it has found things about each, her and her grandma, that would bring us joy. So just imagine as adults if we cultivate responses like this, that when we are with people whom we love or whom we admire, we cultivate this ability to connect, to really see them, and to allow ourselves to be seen. I had no idea she was processing all these instruments on that level. But when I opened that gift and I saw another instrument, it made me feel so special and seen and supported, because this was her way of helping me to help other people. It's priceless. I think we all deserve a love like that. We all are capable of having love like that in many directions. This Valentine's Day doesn't all have to be about romance, but the greatest love relationship you will ever be in my opinion, is the one with yourself. And as long as you continue to honor your inner guidance, which is God that's talking within us, we'll never be steered wrong. To awaken to our empathic abilities, to have them work for us, instead of having them isolate us because we don't want to step up and show people who we are, or we don't feel safe enough to do that. But that starts with us. And now more than ever, I want us to step out of where we are if it's an unsettled place, and to really take up space and command the respect that I know that lies deeply within us. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you will begin these heart-centered relationships, beginning with yourself, and allow those beautiful vibrations to reach far out into your environment and your communities. And I just want to let you know before I go, may you be happy, and may you be well, and may love always find its way to you. Bye, friends. See you in the next video.